the minute I took off, and that's not even an exaggeration, for the minute I took off on that bike, and I felt the wind in my face, and I felt that freedom, like I realized that it was something that I needed. It was something that was gonna help me mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And once I had that feeling, I knew that a lot of other people would benefit from that same feeling, you know? As much as I started it for myself and for my friends, it really is for everybody, and I stand by that. Mandem Cycling Club started off as a joke. It was just something that me and my friends just made up like on the fly. During the pandemic last year, gyms were closed, you know, businesses, movies were closed, there was nothing really to do. And I just randomly texted one of my friends to say, hey, you know, would you ever consider getting a bike? And luckily for me, my friend said yes. So we started looking. A couple weeks later, we both had bikes in our possession. And I shared a post on my Instagram just letting people know that I bought a bike, and the comments were flooded with people that I knew from public school, different places of work, that they also had a bike as well. So once I had a realization that there was a decent amount of my friends that actually had bikes and were interested, I just said it as a joke, like, you know, I have a bike, Mark has a bike, Dwayne has a bike, haha, Mandem have bikes, it's the Mandem Cycling Club. And here we are today.
And a lot of the clubs that you see outside are professional clubs, and there's so many barriers to entry for someone who's just started off after like many years.
Yeah.
So when I saw Mandem, and there are pros, you've got newbies, you've got like people of different types, you know, in the grade of how good they are at cycling. It's so intimidating if you go into a group where, you know, it's all professionals, you can't keep up, you're probably on a hybrid and you just don't fit in.
Yeah.
So
it's built this entire community of cyclists, and not like, you know, road cyclists, just all kinds of bikes. They'll rent smart bikes. We have fixies and all the different bikes.
Electric,
and,
everything.
Yeah, it's great. And we all get together and just go for rides, and we'll choose destinations like, let's go to Port Credit, or let's go to Scarborough, or let's go to Hamilton.
Not know where we're going yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's go
It's
get ice
amazing.
cream or something like that. Yeah.
It's just fun.
As I said, it's a flavor pot, you know, different spices. Pepper pot.
For someone who just got a bike and they're starting out and they want to explore the city a little bit, I recommend using Google. That was what I used personally, and that helped me get a better understanding of the ideal routes in the city. Top 2 or 3 tips that I would give to someone who just started out riding and they want to stay safe. Number 1, without a shadow of a doubt, is to invest in a helmet. I'll use myself as an example. When I first got my bike, I didn't have a helmet. I never wore a helmet as a child when I rode a bike. But it is definitely risky nowadays, especially riding in the city. So please do yourself a favor, invest in a decent helmet. Secondly, prepare for your ride. So if you're riding in the daytime, if you're riding for, you know, an hour or so, you want to make sure you have, like I mentioned, you want to have something to drink, you want to have a snack, you want to have a plan. Bring your bank card, bring your ID. So in the event something does, you know, take a turn for the worse, you're prepared to, you know, make sure you get home safely. And lastly, bring a friend if you can, if you're new. When I first started riding, I probably spent the majority of my time riding with my friends, just to make sure that, you know, no person was left behind. If something did go wrong, I had somebody there. I wasn't left on an island by myself. So if you're starting off fresh, I definitely recommend getting a friend to ride with you. The bike changed my life. Like, not even just my life, but the lives of my friends as well. You're talking about guys who would typically, you know, go to work, go home, repeat. And maybe I see you on the weekend, maybe I don't. But now that we've all invested into the, you know, the cycling culture, you know, a weekend doesn't go by where we're not talking to each other, making plans to get together, thinking about where we can go ride for lunch and things of that nature. So from where we are right now, we're going to head over to Underpass Park, which is another one of our common meeting spots in the city. It's close to the bike trails. And then from Underpass Park, we'll head over to the water plant, and that's about a half an hour ride. I've had people come to me and tell me, you know, they're battling depression, or they're going through a divorce, or you know, they lost their job, and just being able to come outside and just have some positive energy and socialize, exercise, has been a pleasant distraction from a lot of the first world problems that they're experiencing. So the one thing about Mandem that's different from the traditional cycling club is that most of the cycling clubs are based on performance. right? You're meeting up with people who are of a similar skill level. You guys are riding for performance, you're riding for speed, you're riding for certain time, things of that nature. Whereas, and then most importantly, you have to have a certain bike or you can't even ride with them, right? Whereas with us, we don't care what kind of bike you have. You can have a bike mine's a gravel bike, you can have a BMX, you can have a hybrid, you can have a cruiser. We've had some people come out with the city rental bikes, and we'll never turn anybody away based on the kind of bike they have. So that's one of the main things that separate us from the rest of the crowd. And then from a community standpoint, skill level, we don't care how fast you are, we don't care how slow you are. Do you want to come outside, you want to hang out, you have a bike, let's go. And it's really that simple. And we don't turn anybody away for any reason. And Melvin is a cancer survivor.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're approaching your 2-year anniversary.
Yes, almost. Actually.
Okay, because last year when I met him,
It was the day of.
it was the day of his 1-year anniversary,
Yeah.
right? And he joined us for a ride. I've made a lot of friends. I've been told that I've had a positive impact on people, which is a good thing. Even when one of your boys sends you a message and he says, "Hey, my son and I are going on a ride because of you. We're gonna come and meet you guys one day." Those are feel-good stories, right? So it's definitely been a positive thing, and I just want to spread that to as many people as possible. When I think about the impact the club has had, I've seen all of my friends change. To see them become passionate about something that was totally off their radar months prior. I was very fortunate that a lot of my friends came along on the journey with me. So that's been a beautiful thing to see. I can't even describe how much of a positive impact cycling has had on my life. My friends, my family tell me I'm a different person. I have my cousins say, "Hey, you haven't been this positive since high school days," which was a very, very long time ago, right? So if it can have that impact on me, I can only imagine the impact it can have on other people. In terms of the plans for the future, so far the club has really been a benefit to the adults. I would really like to have more of an impact with the youth. So there are some other groups in the city that solely focus on benefiting youth with, whether it's donating bikes or offering them tutorials on how to fix their bike and maintain their own bicycles and things of that nature. So I've been partnering with them to, whether it's, we're donating bicycles to them or we're giving them funds or whatever we can do to kind of help them that's going to pay it forward for the kids. But I would definitely like to do more for the youth in the near future.